What's up guys, this is Frenzy and welcome to another live castle rebuilding series. This one's going to be a little bit different than some of my other ones. This is going to be more of a quick run through of pretty much everything. Probably will last 2, maybe 3 parts, and then for the third or fourth part, which will be the final part, I will go through, after I've done all of my tweaking and all of that, I will go through and explain everything, and then we will also do replays at the end of it. And probably have a couple different replay days so we can kind of get a feel for how this castle worked. So this is patch 19, so creatures were nerfed, and then we had kind of a weird hit point buff to every single creature, which changed a lot, to be honest, at least at this level. A lot of the creatures that were normally able to be one-shot volleyed can now sort of be used, and I've been trying them out a little bit, and I'm going to be doing a few different things, but I'm also going to be probably making one of the more boring castles that I've made just because I feel like there are very specific units that are viable now and other ones that just aren't. Even though the hit point buff changed a lot, I don't think it changed enough where we got a hit point buff on every unit. So the ones that were good just got better. The ones that are bad might be usable, but the other ones are still better. You know, there's not really a reason to use anything else but the certain things that I'll be using. Now, I am going to be doing a few different things that I haven't used in my castle before, mainly because I want to test them out. But for the most part, this is going to be a kill castle. Sustain damage overall. And like I said in my previous viewer castles, I'm basically going to be throwing in my traps first, and I will be putting in creatures to support the traps rather than the traps supporting the creatures. And there's going to be little changes that I'll have to make here and there to be able to at least make people fight inside of the trap vicinity. So I've already started doing a few things here and there, and I'll go through that as I'm kind of just going. I'm going to start back to front, I guess, so that I can test things a little bit easier. Even still, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm going to be doing a lot of testing off stream for this castle. Basically, tomorrow is the competition, which, when you guys see this, will be a couple days after the competition has ended, because I'm keeping my castle a secret for the competition. So, let's get into it. Alright, so basically we're going to be using a ton of rotating cannon traps. I only have 6. That may become a problem. I may have to actually farm some life force in between this. So I'm going to throw them in, at least for right now. I can also use spike traps in certain areas that are good for spike traps, like here might be something good, like right in this area. Let's see if we can get like a lot of this stuff is going to be testing, because honestly this is the first time I've made a castle kind of this way. So alright, so what do we need to be able to make another trap kind of in this area somewhere in here? I don't know if it's going to be possible unless I put a rotating cannon trap here instead. So what if I switch them around? Will that help? I put maybe a spike trap somewhere in here. No, I think rotating cannon traps in both of these locations is best, because they're smaller, easier to work with. I can fit more traps in, and it makes the playing field a little bit smaller as well. A lot of these I'm looking for little segments of my castle that I can make people fight in, and take extra trap damage if they get outside of those segments. That's kind of what I'm going for. So maybe here. Can I get another one inside of here? So I would be able to, but then there's a trap over here that's screwing it up, which I was actually worried about when I put this in. I thought that might actually happen. Alright, let's see what I can do to change this. I could put this up over here a little bit more, which makes this playing field smaller, makes this one larger, but if I could fit in another trap, it would make it kind of worthwhile. Let's see. Does that still go upwards? Yeah, but I don't really like that, and it's also, it doesn't work. Alright, what can I do about this one? Maybe I can make it lower like that. That doesn't change all that much over there. I've already thrown in a few traps just to see if certain rooms would work, because I'm using a lot of newer rooms that I haven't used before. Hmm. See, because I can remove this trap if I really needed to, and I could throw in spike traps here. This sort of thing works for this room. Do I need more spike traps as well? I'm gonna definitely have to farm some life force before I can finish up this castle. That's for sure. Now I can put that right here. And it's not as good as I wanted it to be honest. I really would have liked it to be upwards more. I can still switch around rooms if I have to make this work. So I can easily put that right here. And actually these can be lowered and it doesn't affect anything unless there's a group here. But even still, this small area here won't matter. So if I lowered that, I can actually put another trap in here. See, if I have this one up more in this area, I can probably put a trap in here somewhere. Like that. And that gives another segment that's right in here that people can play inside of. So that's pretty interesting. I do definitely need... let's see how much are traps like this to buy just at the summoning portal. 30,000 for a spike trap. Oh my god, that's going to be expensive. Rotating cannon traps are only 9,000. Do I have any money inside of my mines? I think I drained it earlier. Yeah. Alright. Well, I could start creaturing the end part here, and then in between episodes I can do a run in someone's castle. Or I could even just supplement traps currently for like ballistic cannons, and they'll get replaced as I get life force. That can work as well. So right here would be perfect. Actually, that won't work regardless. Right here would work. All I would have to do is lower these a little bit, which can still happen. I can lower them down to that point if I have to. And that way I can likewise lower this. Maybe move it over if I had to. And then that would fit in there. Either one of these slots, probably upwards one, if I can get this to work. Which if I have to, I can just move that over one. But generally, in between rooms like this, you don't want to have a trap problem, so what I might have to do is switch this out for maybe this corner room or this corner room, or even just switch it out and make it a linear room or something like that, just to make it so that it works. I'll go over what all of the rooms are in just a second here. I forgot to do that, so I'm gonna just see if I can get this. Okay, so I don't actually remember what all these rooms are called, to be honest. This one is a pretty easy one to find. It's this, the corner corridor 1 is this room here. This one, I always have trouble finding this. It's a shrine, I believe. Let's see if I can find it right there. Linear Shrine 3 for these two rooms back to back right there. Although they will not run into them as quickly. I don't want to make it super repetitive and boring for the attacker, so like I could have easily lined these two rooms up like back to back like this so that the attacker would have to go through them. But at least now they get a little bit of a change of pace. Although, you know, it's going to be still a little bit repetitive just because there's going to be fire traps, spike traps, and creatures to support them, which will generally be Stairmasters, maybe a Jimbo, probably not. Cyclopses possibly, you know, things like that. There's going to be a lot of repetitive creatures in my castle, which it just is going to happen that way. I'm trying to make it as best I can, but it's kind of difficult. This one is that corner room that's like super crazy. I had one at the start of my last castle. Let's see if I can find it really quick. It's not that one. It is this one, corridor 3. This is actually a room that I haven't used in a while, but I've kind of figured something out, I think, with this room that will work. I'll try to show it off before the end of this video. That is corner bridge 1. It was changed a while ago and people stopped using it because it was changed. It's kind of back, and I mean it's not really back, but this can work. Basically what happens is that when you are standing at this edge of the spike trap, you can't quite reach a volley way inside of this room. You can only reach it like right around here. The range is just too long. So if you get your creatures, and these Defendatrons actually need to move. I was moving the room around, so I was trying to get it to work before I ended here. I think the Defendatron needs to be like right on top there. With this setup exactly, you cannot volley it from outside of this range, I believe. I'm pretty sure on this. I definitely will need some replays from this competition that we're doing to see how people react to this. But basically the idea is that they have to get on this side of it, then they can aggro it, but you can't really fight a Stairmaster in this small hallway, so you have to either fight it here or take extra trap damage, which I'm always talking about. So that's kind of the idea behind this room that's kind of weird. I just threw it in here to see how it would work. The junction hall, or whatever, there's a junction room here. I don't remember exactly which one it is. It's one of these junction chamber rooms. I think it's this one, or it's actually a different one. This one's the one with the longer... Well, it's similar to this. It's a junction room like this, but this room is smaller. And these corners are a little bit longer. So basically it gives people a smaller area to fight in. I wanted to try out how that would work. And then this room, everybody uses like Cross Hall 6 or something. Yeah, Cross Hall 6. It's that one. So those are the rooms that I'm using for this castle. Unless I have to change something up because of traps. As of right now, this is kind of working, but it's not like really ideal. But I mean, it'll do for right now. Alright, so let's throw in some creatures, I think. And then I will end this first part, and then I'll farm up a little bit of life force so I can buy the traps for the rest of my castle. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, so I have my Snottingham here. I think I'm going to leave that. I was thinking about trying something a little bit different. I threw in a bunch of Vamps, and I was trying those out at the very beginning of when I was like rebuilding. I basically like limited it down to 3 rooms, and I was trying out different boss combinations. The Vamps did okay, but they still die pretty quickly, even with the 50% health increase, so I'm going to probably leave that as is. So the first creatures we're probably going to have here, I could do something in this little area here, but it's not going to be all that effective, because this choke isn't long enough. To be honest, I don't know if I like this room, really, but I'm going to try it out. So we're probably going to do Stairmasters, to be honest. This just looks like a Stairmaster spot to me. So I'm trying to get them as far away as possible. Something like this, and then Defendatrons on the outside. And I'll have to test this to see how easy it is to volley. Basically, I want you to always be in danger if you're able to volley my groups. So if I have a rotating cannon trap, I want at least one of those things to be breathing fire towards your direction as you're trying to volley it. So at the very end, right here, as long as you can't volley into this room, I'm okay with it. That's at least the idea. That's why rotating cannon traps have a little bit more... they have more use than spike traps. Spike traps would have to be at this junction, or else you'd be able to ignore it completely. And they're a lot bigger and clunkier to move around. If I had this spike trap right here, I wouldn't be able to place this trap here, because you know these have more range on them. So it's a little bit easier to use them in certain circumstances. Not Robo Shieldotron, we need Defendatrons. I could do something like put 4 Stairmasters in here, which would be kind of crazy. And actually it would be a viable option now, because their health has been increased, so that they really will not get one-shot volleyed anymore. Like, they can be headshotted, but they won't get one-shot volleyed. And that would be an interesting idea. Huh. I don't know. See, there's an idea that I'm having also with like 3 Stairmasters and a healing puppeteer behind it, and then I could have 1 point for a Snotter to spot for it. But I don't think this is the room to use that in. It wouldn't be a bad room to try out 3 or 4 Stairmasters, I mean. Or any other like 10-point support type unit. I don't know what I could do with that though. I mean, like a big vamp wouldn't really work. Spider would be okay. Dr. Skull, no. Alright, let's try this out. I want to test it before I use this, but I just want to try 4 Stairmasters. I want to see what it does. If it actually is worth it, or if you just overlap the Ominous Orbs, because I don't know if you can get hit by 2 of them at once. So I want to jump in and test this really quickly. I know I said I was going to do a lot of the testing off stream, but we're just going to do it quick. It'll take a little while to get to that room, but I can also see how my traps are looking as of right now. So what I'm thinking is that probably like a Stairmaster or Cyclops or something in this general area. Maybe a Cyclops to push you back on top of this. I might be able to move this up a couple squares as well to help it out. I could put something in this corner as also, and it would be decent, but I think you can volley from here over to there. So I'm thinking probably something beyond this wall. Might be difficult to volley or whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for that. Then I think there's a lot of rooms that don't have any traps in them quite yet. But this sort of thing, you can put guys right inside of here. You can put like whatever unit, like a Stairmaster right here and a Defendatron on the outside. Or the other way around, Defendatron inside, Stairmaster outside. You can't get to the Defendatron, and you could pull it through the wall, or just put, I don't know. You'd have to do something to be able to make it so it wasn't skippable, but I've seen a couple good uses of this room, so I wanted to use it. There's also like a Scorpio thing in here. This room I'm actually thinking a Dr. Skull on Resurrect. I want to try it out. The skeletons that they got that get raised by them, they don't always get one-shot volleyed now. Alright, so here's this room. I can show it off to you guys. Basically, I think I have it set so you can't volley. So you see how I just twitch when I'm spamming volley right now. So that's when I try to volley inside of there, and I can get it right on the inside, but you can't pull the group. And the only problem is, the only way to set this up is you can actually get a headshot on this Defendatron, which you can see the 50% hit point buff right there. I mean, it doesn't even chunk it down to half life. So I think it's okay. I think this is like completely viable at this point. I have to buy more potions as well. I have to remember to do that before the competition starts tomorrow. Or else I'll be in for a nasty surprise. Alright, and then there's this room again. And like I said, you can lower these down even more, and I could still fit one right here. And you'd have this playing area to fight in. And then on the other side, you could put another group over in here. And then have another small area to fight in. So I kind of like those rooms for like double groups. Alright, and then these traps, you can have these small areas like this. That's what I'm really going for. I'm not really going for double pulls and pulls through the wall anymore. I have like one room that I'm doing that in, but I'm really going for, I'm going to have a group over here, you're going to pull it, and you're going to fight in this room. And if you can't fight only in this room, you're going to have to back up inside of trap area and take trap damage, because trap damage is just really high now. More so, I think, than creatures. And creatures have gotten more tanky, so you have to fight them longer inside of these small areas. Alright, so this is the one that I think I was talking about, right? So what I wanted to see is if you're back here out of trap range, which is where I'm at right now, can I volley down this hallway? Yeah, I think I can pull those. No, I can't. Interesting. Okay. Now, obviously, if I want to step up to here, in between their fire, and pull and drop a volley here, that probably would work. But that's okay. I mean, it's alright. Alright, so is this actually worth it? See, when you volley them now, they get down to low life, and someone with a ballista like me wouldn't have that much of a problem. I wanted to test to see if they stacked. I didn't really get to, but it's okay. I don't know. I think the Defendatron is probably better. I'm still up in the air about this. I'll leave it for now, probably. Maybe I'll do... No, I can't do 1-in-1. Or, yeah, I can, actually. Let's have 3 Stairmasters, have one of them being defended. Let's do that. So Defendatron, we'll put one of them here. Now what I do want to worry about a little bit is that if someone's standing here before they pull this group, they might be able to headshot this guy, so I want to put him a little bit farther out of range. He'll follow in after, and that's okay. We'll do something like that for right now. Alright, let's continue to put in a few creatures. I don't want to just use Stairmasters. I would also have to buy a few more if I was just using Stairmasters. I could do some Cyclops stuff. It's just very specific scenarios, because I think I would use Charged Cyclopses, which I would put one probably somewhere in this range. Or, you know, down here. Somewhere where they can charge you on top of the Spike Trap, and maybe have a Zeke or something behind it. Or even more Stairmasters, I don't know. Stairmasters are just such good units compared to everything else right now. It's hard to pick anything else for like sustained damage. Hungerbots are okay because of their tankiness now. They actually don't die in one-shot volley anymore either. Sometimes it's actually half health that they stay alive too, because they have more hit points than a Stairmaster base, and then they get the 50% increase, because I don't think the thumbnails have changed. Or the tooltips, not thumbnails, tooltips. So there's like certain things that you could do with those as well. Probably something like up in here. Although they're still very slow. A Scorpio wouldn't be a bad idea there, to be honest. There's my Scorpios. I haven't used them in forever. Right here. I could do something like this. Maybe put in a... there's one thing I'm thinking about also with Puppeteers. I might put them on Enrage. The thing is, with a Puppeteer on Enrage, he's gonna enrage if I have a Sonator somewhere in here. He's gonna enrage that instead of what I want him to enrage, which would be the Scorpio. A bad dog won't always get his attack speed off either. More likely he won't get his attack speed off, because I want to increase the attack speed of the Scorpio, but that might not be a thing I can do. I could also do like a Cyclops and a Scorpio. Or even battering rams are okay now. I could fit 2 of those in there along with 2 Snoters to spot, because I want Snoters to spot like here. Probably there. And likewise over here. This one's a little close to the edge. I think people could probably easily aggro that from across here, so I'm probably going to put it there. The only thing is I don't want the Scorpio to be able to be headshotted if you're standing right around in here. It looks like you might be able to have a shot to that. I can pull him back on the other side of this, fix that. There we go. Alright, so it's 14 points left. So I have 6 points remaining. I could throw in a Cyclops is really the best thing. Maybe a Defendatron guarding the Scorpio. But that's getting too much into like slowing castles. I need to put in some spiders too, I think, somewhere. In similar situations to this where you can get knocked down, although spiders have been nerfed quite a bit as well, because their behavior has been nerfed. I could even just throw in a Stairmaster with this, to be honest. And that could add in quite a bit, although it's just another place that I would use a Stairmaster. For right now I'm going to throw in a Cyclops, see how it works. Where am I going to put it though? I'll put it like here or something. Move this guy over. And then I need to switch him out to charge, pretty sure. Okay. So in this specific spot I want to put this spike trap as far up as possible. It looks like that is as far up as possible. Can I move this over 1 hex? Yeah. There, I can get these up a little bit more now. That looks a little bit better. There's still a chance that you probably get knocked down and you don't quite make it to the trap. But it's temporary maybe. Like I might change this out if I have to. It would be better in a spot where you could have it all the way up, which maybe over here I'll have it all the way up and I can just move it over, depending on where the trap placement goes for here, because I don't have all the traps in yet. Alright, this is good. This room is pretty much done, to be honest. Yeah, this one I have to put in exactly how I'm going to use this Dr. Skull. What I'm thinking is probably this top pull will be all of my... I'm still up in the air about what unit I'm going to use for the raising skeletons, because I want it to be something that can't be ignored. So at first I was thinking about squidlies, but now I'm thinking more about those 2-point spiders, because they can pounce on you and they do about 100 to 150 damage per pounce. I don't know exactly what their like basic auto attack is, but it's decent damage. I might do a mix of like spiders and squidlies, because squidlies do okay damage. They just have to get close to you, and they're also weak. But I don't care if they die if they're going to get resurrected by a Dr. Skull. That'll be my second pull here. And then what I'm thinking is that you can wait around for all of these guys to come and kill them off. But if you want to kill the Dr. Skull before he kind of gets within range to be able to start resurrecting, I would think you'd have to pull a third group here, which I will have, you know, maybe Stairmasters or Cyclopses or even like Webmasters or something. Just something that's scary so that they have to deal with it a long while trying to kill off a Dr. Skull first before he starts resurrecting. At least that's the idea that I'm going to try there. So that gives you guys kind of an idea of what I'm going to be going for. I think I want to end this part, and then I'm going to jump into a couple castles on the attack screen and try to loot like 100,000 life force so that I can buy up all of the traps that I need. So I'm going to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed it so far. We'll probably do one, maybe two more parts, and then I'll do that replay day that I was talking about. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.